I don't think we can hear.
So the call to order at 2:03. Welcome, everybody, on this beautiful day.
You.
So number one on the agenda, approval of the previous month's minutes for February. Did everyone have an opportunity to look at the minutes?
Did.
Yes.
Okay. Do I have a motion to approve?
Yes, you have a motion to approve.
Okay, Gloria, do I have a second?
Second.
Second.
Thank you, Diane. Okay, the previous month's minutes are approved. Number two on the agenda, and I want to say something before we get into that, number two. As of February 15th of this year, Sandy Alley has resigned her position as secretary of the Elder Affairs Commission, which I think we all knew. Happily, Sandra will remain on as an EAC member, which I'm very happy about. Speaking for the EAC, we would like to thank Sandy for the great job and service she has done for the commission over the last several year period in the position of secretary. The notes have always been timely and great. And I think Sandy, if I remember correctly, it's been a couple of years. It was a position at that time that Sandy picked up to do us a favor on the EAC, and she did a great job. And thank you. And thank you.
Well, thank you. Nice words. Thank you very much.
In regards to electing a new secretary for the EAC, I would like to ask if anyone is interested in assuming the duties of secretary.
Not me. I'm not a secretary.
It's familiar.
I was a secretary once, but Lorraine proofread everything and made me look good, so I'm out of it.
Look, it looked like Rich raised his hand. What do you think?
Yeah, I'll volunteer if no one else is interested.
Okay, so we have a volunteer, Rich. I guess by a show of hands, I guess go to vote for Rich as secretary.
I think you have to do a roll call vote.
Oh, okay, thank you. So roll call, Diane,
Yes.
Gloria,
Yes.
Sandy,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Debbie's not here, Mary Lou,
Yes.
Robin,
Yes.
myself, yes. Doug, are you an associate member or a member?
Currently associate, so I don't have a vote.
So you do not have a vote. That's too bad. So by 100% vote, Rich, you are now elected as secretary. Thank you for volunteering and thank you very much.
If
They
I
should
could
have
just
you on
say,
board.
I'm hoping that I would be able to get Emily's notes for the when I do the minutes. Could I get Emily's notes for her report, the director's report?
I don't have notes. I just
Um,
have a list of items I cover.
That would be fine. It would be helpful though. That is all I'm saying. To have the list.
Sure. Sure.
Next thing on the agenda is announcements and holiday closings. It looks Monday, April 17th is Patriots Day. Is there anything else for announcements, Emily?
No. Nope, just Patriots Day. We are open on Good Friday, if anybody asks.
On the subcommittee reports today, we have the Senior Center Building Subcommittee, and we also have Building Update Facilities Manager. Are we going to have Chris join us today, Emily?
I don't believe so. I don't believe so.
Is there any update that you'd like to
One-
share?
Sure. I was just notified about an hour ago that the back door where the Meals on Wheels volunteers and our bistro chefs come in, that back door will be replaced tomorroon.
Oh, excellent.
Oh, good.
Yay.
No more hole in the door. Yep, exactly. And we'll have
Keep the mice out.
and And ants, if you see any ants in the kitchen, please let me know. So I can do a trouble ticket for Chris, because buggies are coming and they're probably already here, but
Yeah, they are.
Okay. Anything else to share for the building, or are we all set?
I was notified that we're just waiting on the brick for the masonry on the portico wall. I don't have an update on that though. We're getting a couple of quotes, and once that's, installed, put on, slacked on, then we'll paint the ceiling and put in the handicap push button. And then we're good to go.
Nice.
Wow, almost there. That's great.
Yeah. If anybody asks, June open date, we'll have the front door back by June, which is according to the timeline that was set out, so.
Excellent. Also on the agenda is activities subcommittee. We don't have listed specifically, but Rich and Diane, are you prepared to talk today about the senior wellness updates?
My understanding is that we are not doing the updates, the telephone calls anymore. I apologize for taking the meeting. I was on Florida time, so I didn't make the meeting that Monday, and I haven't had a chance to come back in. So, but
Okay.
Emily, if you want to update us quickly on what's going on, or Rich, I know that you had gotten together for a meeting.
You want to go first, Rich?
Well, yeah, I think all we were saying that is that the wellness calls will pick up again sometime in May. And in the interim, what we're working on is updating our database of phone numbers, because at least in my case, a lot of what I was doing during wellness call time was updating numbers, but those numbers that I was updating, and there are a lot, some of them made it into the database, some of them did not. So part of my role, at least between now and then, will be to start entering those into the database. We'll start up doing the wellness calls though again sometime in May.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah,
That
you
works
can-
for me.
Anybody can jump in to make wellness calls at any time. It's like a twofold. So you're making the call, researching the phone numbers, checking in on the senior, and then updating the database. That's all. Yeah,
Great.
and I think overall the program's going very, very well. We occasionally get feedback from the person being called, how nice it is to be thought of. Our newsletter mailing list, the paper mailing list, has grown significantly. I think we mail out about 250, 300 paper newsletters every month, which is good. And of course, we distribute them around town. And then we email out, I want to say 550 by the email. And then if
Wow.
people aren't on our distribution list, then they just hop on the website and click it there. But we've definitely grown in that. And a lot of the calls, most of them are okay, which is good. That's really good. Most people are okay. I think, Rich, correct me if I'm wrong, over 500 calls or contacts have been made, give or take, between you and Dave and Diane, the three wellness call
I think
makers.
that's probably a reasonable number. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. There are a lot of the calls are determined that the numbers are not no longer in service, which is good information to have. I mean, it doesn't necessarily tell us what the right number is, but it does tell us that a number that we looked up or had on hand is no longer good. That is often the case with landline numbers that people abandon, and so that they get cell numbers. And so we, as much as possible, are trying to get the cell numbers that replaced those landline numbers.
It's kind of cool because it's also turned into improving our communications with the community. So like we didn't have most senior phone numbers prior to this program. Our database didn't have them. And when we send out our robocalls and our text messages and our emails, we use our database. So it's just, one click, and then 1,000 people can get a message with the right email address, Doug, and the right phone number. Not Belmont any longer. So it's turned into helping out the community, but also improving our communications with the community to get the word out on stuff.
Good
Does
stuff.
Just a question, and I've got one in the closet, I should go look, but does the town street list have any phone numbers in it?
No,
No.
No.
I know, that would have made it so much easier.
God,
I
because
know.
it is so frustrating because so many people like aren't using their landlines, me included, landlines, so that and trying to find not email, but trying to find phones for cell phones is really tough. That's tough, but it's a lot of sleuthing.
Yeah, I think one thing that I would recommend is, and I mentioned it to Emily, is that we find one particular service that is an effective service, that is a paid service, so that we don't, I mean, when we're always relying on Google and other free
Yes,
find a number kind of programs, it's a hit or miss situation. But sometimes we end up against a paywall where they tell us, okay, yeah, sure, if you want to
Yes.
be a member of
if you want to pay,
whatever,
you're right.
and then, you can use us forever and unlimited. And I think, yeah, it would be good to get, whether it's the White Pages or one of the other
I agree.
organizations, just a paid membership that we can all use. That would be
Right.
worth it.
I agree too, because a lot of time is spent trying to scroll down and trying to find out, find somebody. Exactly. So, and then sometimes you get there and you're right, you reach a wall.
Yeah.
And yeah, and you'd like to spend more time talking with people than trying to do the research.
Yeah, it probably
Eventually.
wouldn't be very expensive at all too. And I would assume it's a 1 year kind of subscription, and that you up each year. And we could, if we find that it's not very effective, we could, choose another one the next year.
Right. Right. I wonder if, do any other senior centers do that? Are they making phone calls, and what kind of resource do they use in order to be able to reach people who are in their towns? Any idea?
Everyone's different. When you've seen a senior center, you've seen a senior center. Some best practices I've seen are, so as a call comes into the senior center, the receptionist will update the database live, which we'll get to once we get our front door back, and they can have that way it'll be easier. A lot of them have been collecting this information for many, many years.
Mhm.
Updated addresses, phone numbers, emails, and dates of birth,
Okay,
for birthdays and age-related stuff. We started the program in 2020 because of the pandemic, obviously, to check in on people, make sure they're okay. And we've been
Mhm.
updating them ever since, but it's constant,
it's hard to believe that there isn't some list in town that's got people's phone numbers on it. It's hard to believe, but I can't think of any place to find it, that's for sure. Voter list? No? Voter list doesn't have it? No?
And there's a lot of renters, new people,
Yeah.
not all homeowners. And then there's some in-laws, and yeah, it's hard. We have about 6,000 seniors.
Wow.
Does anyone know Chloe Fletcher? She keeps trying to get into the meeting.
No.
Yeah, okay.
Next thing on our agenda, and thank you for all that, is the treasurer's report. Gloria?
Okay, so I'm going to give you the figures that I had for the meeting that was scheduled for the 13th, okay, of March, and then I'll update next month, if that's all right with everyone. All right, so Howard Foundation. So that's always for activities and events, and for February, we did spend $671, and we now have a zero balance, which is what we try to do every year, is spend it down so that when we reapply for the grant, they'll look and see that we used everything that we were awarded. So Emily, I'm assuming, have we reapplied for that for the coming year?
Yes. Yep, every
Okay.
year we ask for, since 2019, we've asked for $10,000 per year, which
Okay.
funds activities for the seniors, and it subsidizes programs for folks who can't pay.
Mhm. I remember last year was a little late in coming, correct? It didn't come till like July or something like that last year, I
Yeah,
think.
we received it
Yeah.
in May because they had a trustee pass away who was responsible for reimbursements. So
Right.
we got on them and we got it.
That's good. All right, and COA revolving account, those are for our fitness classes. We spent 1,590, and right now we have a balance of 1,302. Our needy seniors account, we had no expenditures in February, so we are sitting with a balance of 1,246. In miscellaneous donations, which is like supplies and celebratory items, etc., we spent 218, and we have a balance of 42,289. And then our nutrition donations, which obviously is for bistro food and supplies and the coffee bar. And this time it was catering for the Valentine luncheon. We did spend 2,290, and that leaves us with a balance of $9,911.
Is that it, Gloria?
That's it.
That is it. Well, thank you very much. Great report. Does anyone have questions for Gloria today? Okay, then we'll move on to the director's report. Emily?
For senior center projects, we talked about the portico and the back door. For the landscape architect, I hope everybody's able to join Melissa Desjardins, who's been funded through the Community Preservation Committee, for April 3rd. The notice has been sent out. It will be here at the senior center and on Zoom and recorded. So if you miss it, you'll get the recording. For 4 o'clock, April 3rd.
Will the Zoom number be the same as this? As the one for
No,
this?
the Zoom was right on the flyer, but I'm gonna send out a reminder because it's a week from today and it's right on the flyer.
If you could send me the Zoom, that would be great. I appreciate it.
Definitely. Yep. We want to get, because the first 2 meetings, we had one in the daytime and the second one in the evening. And both were very well attended, but now we want to get everybody. Because what she put together is just out of this world. For outside landscape, beautification for the campus around here, which includes the pickleball court area, the park overflow parking here, the gardens out here, and then the walking trail circuit that was talked about. So I hope everybody really likes what she did. It's really lovely. It's really lovely. So that'll be Monday, April 3rd. The SAVE program is off and running. We've had 13 applicants for the senior center. I don't know about other departments, but it's a lot. And so to make room for new folks, we have to kind of juggle things around. And we'll be coming up with an orientation for the new volunteers in a couple of weeks. No one on this in the EAC is a SAVE volunteer, but those who applied will get the orientation email, which is great.
You say 13 applicants?
For the senior center, yeah. They applied to all departments,
Okay,
police, fire, the library, assessor's office, all town departments. But
so
for our
if they're an
department,
applicant, they automatically are accepted, or?
if they meet eligibility and we have a job for them, yes,
Okay,
yes, yep. So for ours, we have building maintenance, greeter administrative, and then kitchen and nutrition. Those are the 3 roles that we have here. I think it's been that way for a long time, right, Nick? Those 3 roles. Always have a SAVE volunteer for maintenance. We have our COA interns wrapping up the semester at the end of April. Everybody here will get an invitation to our little going away party. I don't know the date yet, but Shannon Stokes, who's our social work intern, has been with us the entire school year, plus last year for a semester as a junior. And she is phenomenal. I'd love to get her. We always give our students a little gift and have a little going away party for them, because they do so many incredible things for the seniors and people with disabilities. And they work very closely with Kathy Hayes in our social work area. So
So how
all the
many-
students will be leaving this semester.
How many interns were there? Altogether?
We have 3 from BSU currently.
And that was the one that you mentioned was Sharon.
Shannon,
Shan.
yeah.
What's
Does
her last
everybody
name?
know Shannon? She's great. Shannon Stokes.
She's wonderful.
Yeah.
Very caring.
Yeah. Thanks, Mary Lou. We love her. I'd hire her in a heartbeat. And then Patty, our master's intern, she'll be staying on through June. So she'll be around. She's the blonde haired woman who's doing the mental health counseling for the seniors. And she's doing a great job. Great job. Her and Shannon will be doing some TED Talks come April, which will be it's a nice way to get people involved and to talk about mental health conditions, emotional distresses, feelings, all the stuff that's uncomfortable. And it's therapeutic at the same time. It's kind of neat. Programs. So the St. Patrick's Day party, another huge success. I didn't hear any complaints. One woman said the poke cake frosting was magic. So I can't wait to tell Regina that, Robin. She came in last Thursday and she said it literally was magic. And this is a baker. So whatever you did for the poke cake frosting.
Out of a can and tinted it. Very simple.
Oh, wow.
Oh, man. Oh, they loved it.
That's all that counts.
Exactly. Especially, when no one's baking like they used to. Like right now we have supper club going on, and I tell you, these women don't cook like they used to, and they will tell us that. So Courtney Bezio, who's a student in town, she's not an intern, but she's doing the supper club, and they're just making ratatouille, but they're having a great time back there.
That's great.
Yeah. Meals on Wheels, business as usual, no change. The congregate lunches that are Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, attendance is a little, it's okay. Between 5 and 6 people, or excuse me, between 2 and 6 people for the congregate OCES lunches. The bistro lunch, that's different. That's picked up. It's about 10
Yeah.
people usually, but
Yeah.
we're gonna try to entice BSU senior college members to come and join us. If they can come.
What were the lunches you mentioned before Bistro? I didn't.
The Old Colony Elder Services, the congregate lunch.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Okay.
And then the box lunches, those are the same too. Those are coming on Tuesday, Thursday. People really like those. And those are all by donation. I know we talked about getting more entertainment on Wednesday to try to get more people in for bistro lunch. We don't have room for April and half of May, but we plan to do that. Like we talked about, Robin, is to do it this late spring and summer. Get a good band or some music or a magician on a Wednesday right after lunch. Get people moving and shaking, get out of the house. Definitely
Yeah,
a goal.
good.
And if you have any suggestions for other activities come spring, please let me know. We have the annual barbecue that we need to set a date on. And we have the men's Father's Day barbecue. The fire department will be putting up the tent pretty soon, so we can have that outside just like last year.
Where's everyone gonna park?
I don't know. The Mother's Day event in May will be Friday, May May 12th. We're gonna do like a pampering the moms day with massage therapy, a brunch, and a little giveaway.
Wow, nice.
What time was that gonna start?
I think they're talking about 10 o'clock.
Okay.
Have the activity maybe 10 to 11 and then brunch 11 to 12. And Father's Day, what did we choose, Nick? I think it's that Wednesday before Father's Day. 14th.
That would be the 14th.
And that's a barbecue.
Father's Day barbecue, yes, yep. Free for Bridgewater dads. And we subsidize that through the nutrition donation account.
Is that, are we cooking that?
I think that was discussed, the barbecue.
No, the Father's Day barbecue? Are we doing that one too? Yeah,
You're not doing the Mother's Day one, that one's
no,
catered.
just the Father's Day.
Yeah, yep.
Okay.
Exactly.
Emily, I got a question. If you're taking questions now, this is on that. Ann was talking about trying to get more supplies. Have she been working that? Have you been working that so we can have more supplies on the shelves or something like that?
Yeah, we got a whole bunch, Nick.
Oh, good.
She
Yeah.
spent a lot of money, she said, get ready, Gloria. She
Right.
did, she spent a lot of money, but that's good, because it's good to stock up, because we have many different chefs in the kitchen, so to speak now. Like
Right.
today, so we have the supper club and they're using the supplies, we have the bistro on Wednesday. Donna at OCES on the other days, and yeah.
Mm,
Lots of
Men's
supplies.
breakfast. Yeah, men's
We
breakfast
had
too.
one of our volunteers, Connie, her husband came out and he redid on a volunteer basis the hallway closet. So now we have extra shelving for overflow, which is great. And we have lots of shelving in the shed, the old shed, for other supplies.
Thank you. Okay,
Yeah.
second question. You were talking about the upkeep around the building and everything else. Have they ever talked about putting an addition on for the future? Is that in anybody's mind at all? Because you keep
It
talking
is.
about how it's crowded in here.
Yes, especially since we have a lot of programs in at the Conant Center. Twice a week, we use the Conant Center for our one of our fitness classes. Yes, yep. As a matter of fact, the landscape architect asked at one of the community meetings, would you ever have that as a need? And unanimously, everybody raised their hands. So you'll see in the
Absolutely.
drawing that there's she expanded it out by you know, the TV room in the back off the kitchen.
Yeah.
Mhm.
She expanded it out there, and then she added in a drawing of a greenhouse off the kitchen as additional space for meetings, and so it'd be like a 3-season room that we could possibly rent out for revenues.
Could we put a note to put a walk-in refrigerator off the back door?
Yeah, right between the greenhouse and the building.
There you go.
Nice
A little
try.
cold blast in the
Yeah,
summer.
nice try, Robin. Nice try.
Emily, you joke around about the food and everything else, but when I compare ours, Robin's, Regina's meals with some of the other COAs, I mean, ours are just unbelievable. I mean, you should be proud of them. Some.
They are, we are, everybody. Those bistro meals are, the numbers aren't going down, if that says anything. It's
Right.
stayed steady at 60. And
Mm.
when it first launched, bistro during the pandemic, I think it was 80, but that's because everybody was isolated and homebound.
Mm.
Yeah. A really lovely $5 a meal. I know there's talk of increasing the $5 for large events to $7. To cover the cost of food.
Yeah.
Food increases have gone up. But that's just still being discussed. What do you think, Nick?
We went shopping yesterday. I'm telling you, it's unbelievable.
Mm.
So I think they all expect it to go up.
I don't know if everybody's aware, but the SNAP benefit, the pandemic SNAP benefit, the extra $40 a month, 20 to, well, it depends on household size, went away last month. So what we've done is we have our Roach Brothers here. We have our Tuesday farmers market, where people with their SNAP cards or their credit cards, they take both, can come out and buy some affordable fruits, veggies, meats, cheeses. We've been doing that, and we're working on another program. It's called the CSFP through the Greater Boston Food Bank. So I'm working with the Jack over there, the director, to see if we can get some senior food bags here. And they're small bags, they're not heavy bags, with single cans or affordable meats through your SNAP benefit. We're trying to bring more stuff local so we can be a distribution site.
We need a refrigerator. Shelving in a refrigerator.
So that's it for food. Transportation, another notice will go out this week about the Bridgewater Cares Transit. That is really coming out. Fingers crossed. We have a tentative date of Monday, April 3rd. And that is kind of like Uber for the residents of Bridgewater. It's not just for seniors. It's for people with disabilities and Bridgewater State University students. So we're in the process of hiring a transportation coordinator to manage that through the grant. And that's going to launch on Monday. So, and you guys can ride that as older adults yourselves. It's $3 each way. And it's just like taking a taxi. If you don't feel like driving, you just go on your phone, you download the app, and you book your ride that way. Because a lot of seniors don't use smartphones, they can call the office to get their rides. But it's affordable and it's subsidized and it's a pilot.
Emily, is that going to be available for all BSU students or just students with disabilities?
Just students with disabilities.
All right.
I wish it were for everybody, but we need
No,
a
you
lot more
wouldn't.
money.
I would be.
And
And
a
I
big
wouldn't run
headache
it out
with
of the
it.
senior center. So that's transportation. I went over events. Rich, I always have topics that I like to go over in the director's report, just so you know. I
Yeah.
have nutrition, transportation, programs and activities.
I want to make sure that I don't miss any of your
Yep.
topics. That's,
I know it's a lot. Sandy, do you have any tips?
No, I just used to wing it best I could. You'll do fine, Rich.
okay.
You did a great job, Sandy. Thank you. I'll never forget when you took on that role. I think we started together. I don't believe I have anything else, David.
Okay, well, thank you. That was a lot of information. Appreciated. Is there any questions or anything anyone would like to bring up before we discuss the next meeting date?
I just
Yeah.
had a quick question.
Sure.
You mentioned that there are bricks going out, or are they the stones? What was decided back then?
The stones.
Oh, stones, okay.
Did I say bricks?
Okay.
I'm sorry. Stone.
Yeah, you just say bricks.
Emily,
Any other questions, folks?
I have a question.
Just an update.
Sandy, I'm sorry, and then Rich.
I just would like to know if and when the garden club will have any input as far as the plantings around the building, or should we just wait until after April 3rd? When the landscape artist comes, and then maybe you could tell us if we'll have a role in helping or helping to maintain the
Oh, you
gardens.
have to. Absolutely. The
Okay.
woman who came to the community has been coming to the community meetings.
Okay,
Um,
well, we'll wait because we're having a meeting tonight, and so I just thought if there was any if you had any thoughts on that, that I could bring it up tonight. But otherwise, we'll just wait till after. I mean, it's only another week. And, you know, find out what our community service girls, you know, and they have a couple of places that they take care of, and with the senior center being one of them. But it's been all turned up for such a long time. We don't know when we can get back in there, or if we even are going to be allowed to.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think it's gonna be a community, especially because one of the areas, I can't remember if it was the garden club representative who came to the meeting, and she said she made suggestions on raised garden beds.
Was that Christine Smith?
She's not a Bridgewater resident.
Right, she's not. She's Rainham.
That's Christine. Okay.
Yeah.
She had wonderful input. So it would be great to have the garden club represented at the meeting. I'm gonna send you the flyer. Maybe
Okay.
want to hand it out or email it to the club? That would be awesome.
That'd be wonderful. Sure,
Okay.
sure. Send it to me. Thank you.
Gina Guasconi and I have been meeting with the architect and looking at her drafts and providing feedback. And there were recommendations for plantings for the community gardens. And those will be discussed at the meeting. And I believe they are indigenous plantings from the area. They're not like tropical or something like that.
Right, right.
But it would be great because once we, once the final plan is approved by the community, then we can start applying for grants, looking for additional funding, and getting lots and lots of volunteer help. So if the garden club that would be amazing.
Good, good.
Okay,
Thank
thank
you.
you for asking that. If there's
Rich,
any
you
clubs
do have
in
I'm
town,
sorry.
actually, we should probably invite.
Yeah, I just had a quick update. I mentioned at the last meeting, the porta potties that the pickleball folks have been looking for. And it turns out that the Parks and Recreation people will pay for that. And we will have, as of April 15th, a porta potty probably at the far end of the pickleball courts. We're talking about whether it should be locked or not, but it's primarily judging from talking with people. They'll be looking forward to using it when the senior center is closed. In other words, most people prefer to be able to use the senior center to come through the door that's available. And so we're hoping that it still will be available. But when the center is closed, there will be a porta potty there. And that will be through up to July 1st with the new fiscal year. And most likely with the new fiscal year, it'll continue, but there's no guarantee of that right now. So we are all still hoping to have a solution that will involve the senior center that will not require porta potties in the far distant future. But for at least this season, we will have a porta potty.
That's great.
So,
Any other questions or anything anyone else would like to bring up? Okay, it looks like our next meeting is scheduled for April 10th at 2 p.m. And we've gone over a lot of things. Again, thanks again, Shandy, for all you've done over the last couple of years.
You're welcome.
Congratulations, Rich, on your new opportunity here. And I think that's everything. If there's no further questions, I would motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Gloria, thank you. I knew you'd be there for me. Do I have
Second
a
it.
second?
Second it.
Okay, I have Robin, second it. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you on April 10th.
Okay, be well.
Take care.
Take care,
Thanks,
everyone.
Dave. Good to see you.
Thank you very much.